This is the Porsche Panamera, in essence a 911 that's been squashed and pulled. There are 3 models on offer at the moment, with prices starting at £72,000, and in contrast to most Stuttgart sports cars, the Panamera has 4 doors, the same size boot as a BMW 3 Series saloon, and an engine that sits in the front. This particular Panamera, though, is rather special. Look closely and you might just notice the 20-inch wheels, extra air intakes and the pop-out spoiler. That's because this is the most expensive, most luxurious and most lunatic version, the 95 grand Panamera Turbo. And it is quick! And sat here, it's like I'm pulling away in a 911, and it's only when I look in the rear mirror that I realise I've got a full-on extension and conservatory back there. Having that turbo badge on the back means that instead of the 400 brake horsepower I'd get from Porsche's 4.8 litre V8 engine, I now get 500 brake horsepower and over 500 pound-foot of torque as well. So 0 to 62 happens in 4.2 seconds before you can romp on to 188 miles an hour, which is pretty impressive for a car that weighs 2 tonnes and is longer than a Ford Transit van. The steering is almost as perfect as it is in a 911, so yet again you're tricked into thinking that you're at the helm of a nimble, agile supercar and not a big luxurious taxi. Its reactions are more rewarding and more instant than they are in a Bentley Continental or Mercedes S-Class, which is good. The seats are incredibly supportive and comfortable, and every occupant in this car gets one. Then ahead of you are the usual family dials, and beautifully engineered and finished buttons and controls. It's just utterly sumptuous in here and super racy, much sort of sexier than you'd find in a normal limo. You also get Porsche's double-Kupplung 7-speed automatic transmission as standard. And because there's a clutch there ready to preempt every next gear, it is super quick. And if you want it quicker still, just press the Sport button. So, coming out of this second gear corner, when I get the steering wheel right again, just press one of the buttons on the steering wheel, instantly up a box, down, down. I could never be as quick as that on a manual box. The fact that the Panamera Turbo is currently the fastest 4-door car around the Nürburgring's Nordschleife route is testament to its handling ability. If you pay an extra £1,200 for the Sports Chrono package, you'll get a stopwatch as well as Sport and Sport Plus suspension modes, which will set the car for high-performance driving. That means that the suspension setting stiffens up and the traction control system slackens off a bit, so you can get a bit of a slide on, like so. You can also turn the traction control system fully off for some sliding action, turning this 4-wheel drive car into a 2-wheel drive delight. But it's not just a Playmobil for the track, it's also got the space in the back for you to work or unwind and just revel in the car's gorgeous details. The beautiful centre console sweeps all the way down from the dash, and you've got things like heated seats, individual air control, cup holder, power socket, armrest with cubby hole, and also plenty of headroom, because even though this car isn't very tall, it retains its coupe roofline and these sports seats sit very low to the floor. And surely a first in a Porsche, I've got knee room in the back. When you try and mix the best of both worlds though, there has to be a compromise, and here it is this car's ride, which isn't as composed as a similarly priced BMW 760M Sport. The Panamera's fat tyres do clunk over tarmac changes, but it's not enough to split your cocktail. If you add options like the sports exhaust and ceramic composite brakes, the price will rise to over £100,000, so you'd better make sure your route to work includes a racetrack to use this car's performance. And it seems as though plenty of people have just that, because there is a 6-month waiting list for the turbo. So for Porsche, at least half limo plus half supercar equals one great motor. Genius.
Here's a quick plug for the 2010 Autosport International Show this January at the NEC in Birmingham. All the biggest names in motorsport, including F1 champ Jenson Button, will be there, as well as the world's most incredible performance cars, rally cars and Formula One cars. And Fifth Gear will be there as well, performing displays at the Live Action Arena. So come along and see us on January the 16th and 17th at the NEC in Birmingham.